Of the Niti Aayog is to possibly tax agricultural income. This is going to be a controversial one, but perhaps something that the government will consider. To discuss that, our Kavita Rao from the National Institute of Public Finance and Policy, or NIPFP, joins us. Kavita, appreciate you joining us here on CNBC TV 18. I understand that this was something that you worked on in your proposal or a paper that you had put forward in 2012. Now, do you believe that this is doable? Because agriculture falls under the states now, with the large majority of state governments being under the BJP, do you believe that we could perhaps see agricultural income being taxed being a reality anytime soon?
The issue is whether the government, there are two ways of looking at it. The first is whether we can bring agricultural income within the domain of central taxation, which might not be easy to do. The other alternative is to allow the center to collect on behalf of the states and give the money back to the states. Now, that is perhaps more doable because it doesn't require you to set up infrastructure and so on. But it's politically, it is a hot potato because you need to convince people that agriculturists should be paying tax, which we have not yet attempted to do in any major way.
What could be the implications and the impact of this? Because, you know, the purpose behind this move is to increase the tax base, is for revenue generation. We just heard from Kavita Rao, a member of the Niti Aayog, saying that the rural sector will need to be brought into the tax net. Specifically, he talked there about agricultural income. Now, some states, in some shape or form, do tax agricultural income. States like Assam, for instance. What could be the implications of this if we do, in fact, move towards it?
See, wherever the states have large plantations, especially tea plantations, they have attempted to levy an agricultural income tax on those activities specifically and more generally as well. But most other states which rely on more regular crop kind of agriculture have not really attempted to do an agricultural income tax. The big constraint, as I see, is how are we going to get people to understand accounting that's required to file a return. So we need financial literacy of a fairly high level for people to comprehend what is the liability and to comprehend what is the compliance requirements from their end. Because as agriculturists, they would be undertaking a business called agriculture and they would be entitled to take deductions. So unless we can figure out some very simplified form, it requires people to be reasonably financially literate, and I think that is the bigger challenge on how we can get agriculture on board vis-a-vis the tax system.
My final question to you, Kavita, we heard from Kavita Rao saying that agricultural income above a certain threshold, in the work that you had done in 2012, had you arrived at a threshold beyond which the income should be taxed? And what would be fair to your mind?
Actually, you don't need a separate threshold for agriculture because we have a threshold exemption for all kinds of incomes in the country. Yeah. So whether you're a salaried employee or you're a proprietorship concern, each one of the individual business as well as salary earners in the country has an exemption threshold as per the income tax law. So, and the exemption threshold is reasonably high. So it's only people who are earning agricultural incomes above that threshold, and it is incomes, not sales. It is sales net of expenses. And the expenses will include everything from wages and salaries to water to seeds to fertilizer to diesel and everything else. So that is a net which is income which has to cross 2.5 lakh before you even talk about taxing agriculture. So we are not really talking about taxing the small farmer in any sense.
Small farmer, yeah. Got that.
And we don't need to wait for incomes to be much higher and for the economy to reach an amazing level for us to be able to implement this conceptually. Politically, since agriculture represents a large mass of people, changing their status suddenly will not be easy.
It won't be easy, and this, as you pointed out, promises to be a political hot potato. This is a recommendation of the Niti Aayog. When will it be taken forward? Will it be accepted or not?